Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I am Violet Diagala, the founder and CEO of FemCity, and we're so excited to join you today. We are talking about goals. We are still talking about goals because the month of June is that midway point to make it to the end of the year. And so this is a really great time to revisit your goals, reacclimate, realign, reconfirm that those are the goals that you indeed want to achieve by the end of this year. So instead of waiting until November or December 31st to panic about your goals, the summer is a really great time to dive in. And so I have asked 3 of our FemCity global experts to join us today with this conversation. If you're joining us live, we would love to hear from you, even if you just put a little love. We will take that. If you have any questions, we are here for you. Collectively, we want your success. We want to see you thrive and flourish. That makes us really happy. So please add any questions that you have. We want to help you. If you're watching the replay, because so many of you watch the replay on the weekends, I know you like to binge on the FemCity content, you can always reach out to us. All 3 of us, all 4 of us, I was going to say the 3 global members and myself are here for you. So please reach out to us if we can help you in any other way. But let's go ahead and get started. I already see some people watching. We have Alyssa Williamson, who is joining us today, Carlee Myers, and then Dr. Serena, who's new to the FemCity Global Program. We're so excited for her to join us. Alyssa, if you could just share a couple of words about who you are and what you do for those femmes that don't know you.
Sure. Hello, I'm Alyssa Williamson, and I'm a business and intuitive success coach who specializes in mindset and marketing. So I help women business owners create their life where their business flourishes, but at the same time, their business is supporting their ideal lifestyle.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I know you've been on a panel a couple of times before, so probably our femmes know you. Carlee Myers, share a little bit about yourself as well.
Yeah, so I'm Carlee Myers. I'm the founder and leader here at the Stress Less Company, and I help people who have experienced a devastating challenge to manage their day-to-day stress in a way that creates satisfying results like improved sleep, increased income, more fulfilling relationships. The list goes on.
Love it. Love it. And Dr. Serena, share a little bit about yourself as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm a naturopathic doctor, so that's really the best of conventional wisdom and natural medicine. And then personally, I specialize in weight loss, hormones, mood, gut, and thyroid. So really taking that big picture approach, combining it with my background of psychology, and of course, always looking at symptoms as going to that deeper level on the spiritual and emotional side as well.
Love that. Love that. And Carlee, you already have some love coming through. Hi, Carlee. So let us know who that is. It's coming from our Facebook, I think our Facebook group. So, all right. So here we're going to get started. Again, if you have any questions, please add them in the chat and I will ask on your behalf. So we love action plans. We love action steps, no frills. So what is your number one tip on how to get motivated when it comes to your goals? Most people, I feel, have fallen off their connection with their goal. They got stuck with like the whole hamster wheel of life and business and just putting out fires and being overwhelmed perhaps. So if you're talking to someone who's in that mode, what's the number one advice tip that you would give them to get motivated and get back to it? Alyssa.
Awesome. So I love this question. This is the core of what I help clients with. And there are 2 ways I break it down. So there's long-term goal motivation. So that's where you just have to keep pushing through after weeks, months, even years. And then there's the daily motivation to get excited about your goal so you want to work on it each day. So my tip will help with both. My number one tip to get motivated when it comes to your goals is to believe that they can happen and feel yourself experiencing your goals so that you're excited by it. So this is a huge part of high performance habits, and there are many layers to it, but I'll just give you the simple way to start. You can't force motivation each day. It's like trying to push a boulder up a hill. Once you've lost it, you're just uphill. It's just a grind. It gets exhausting. So you want to be pulled forward by your goal. For that to happen, you have to believe that those goals are possible and they're possible for you. And so this is a mindset process. So to do that, this is a technique that high achievers use, neuroscientists. And so visualize your goal every day. I write it down on a little flashcard. I write it down like painting a picture. Experience it through all your senses. What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? Is there a color? Feel that throughout your body as it is happening. Get excited by it and get fired up by it. From there, you can use that energy to then like narrow down what are most important elements. How can you get excited? But really, you have to have the energy of that to want to keep going after it. It has to be pulling you forward.
I love that. And I love that you mentioned, I wrote down your tips. I love that you mentioned visualize it as it's already happening, because I know so many of our femmes will say, I feel like a fraud. Like sometimes they'll take a class on manifesting and they feel like a fraud. They're like, oh, I feel like I'm making up stories. But I love that you changed it and you're saying just feel like it's happening already. Not that you're there, but feeling like it's already happening. It's moving forward. You've got all the senses working. I feel like that's such a realistic tip to share, because so many I've heard over the years, they, you know what, and I love that you said possible, that it's possible for you, because I feel like that's sometimes where that mindset trick is, where at the end of the day, so many don't feel like it's actually possible for them. Like why would I choose, or why would I be chosen to be successful, or why would it be that I can grow? To believe that it's possible for you, that you deserve it. I love that you mentioned that, because I think that so many people get stuck in that situation, and then they get frustrated when things don't happen, and it's because down deep inside they don't really believe it's even possible for them.
Yeah, it's having that belief, and it's energy, it's quantum physics, but it's just train your subconscious if you want to get into the science of it.
Yep, I love that. All right, so, and Carlee, it was Michelle Leahy that said hi.
Hi, Michelle.
So, hey, Michelle. And then we had some other love as well. So love that. Thank you so much. All right, Carlee, what is your number one tip for those that are looking to get motivated so they can accomplish their goals?
Okay, so you mentioned something a little bit earlier when you asked Alyssa, which is that state of overwhelm and that feeling of like kind of getting pulled in a million different directions. So if we're in that state of stress, if we're in that state of overwhelm, my first suggestion is it's very similar to Alyssa's, is to get your energy in alignment. So if that means getting off the subject altogether, going on a walk, letting the sun hit your skin, putting on a good song, calling a friend, meditating, whatever it is that you need to do to get your energy in alignment, that is the number one tip that I would give. And then again, once you're in that alignment, you're in that state of excitement, or that state of contentment, or that beautiful state of mind, whatever it is for you. That's when you can sit down and you can really look at, envision, similar to what Alyssa said, envision that reality and create some goals from there. One of the quotes that I love the most is from Gary Keller, which is, what's the one thing you can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? So get that energy into alignment, even if it means getting off subject, and then come back and maybe ask that question. What's the one thing you can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? It's going to make things so much easier, and it's going to get you to your goals that much faster.
I love that. So I love energy and alignment. You reminded me, Carlee, of one of my spiritual advisors from many, many, many years ago, when I used to spend a lot of time worrying. Like I was the biggest worrywart ever. And she once told me, if you are worrying, it puts like this energetic gray cloud over you, and it blocks all this goodness that's coming through and all these beautiful opportunities. And when she framed it like that, I changed the whole perspective of worrying, because I really thought there was nothing wrong with worrying. I grew up with worriers, like my dad worries all the time. So energy and alignment is huge. That's a huge tip, because so many times we have that sense of worry or doom heavy on top of us, and it's blocking all these beautiful blessings that are coming our way. But because we're worrying about it, which someone told me, when you worry, it's praying that something bad will happen. Which again, that was like another like aha moment. I don't even know who told me that years ago, but I just love that, because we can do the action steps, but if our energy is not in alignment, then it's showing up subconsciously, unconsciously, and energetically as well. And then we don't get far, and then we get frustrated and we kind of loop back into it.
Yeah, it makes me think of I think the quote is that your thoughts are prayers. So every thought is a prayer. So there's that. And then also, oh, it left me, but yeah, your thoughts are prayers. Every thought. So being really conscious of your thoughts is a great place to start.
Yeah, I love that. Love that. All right, let's go. Dr. Serena, what is your number one tip?
All right, my number one tip is to tap into your intrinsic motivation. So in psychology, we have two types of motivation. One of them is intrinsic. So that's really that listen to your heart. That's where in the midst of all the chaos, if you sat down, you could actually tap back into that same reason of exactly why you're doing something, how it's fulfilling your purpose, how it's fueling your belief system, how it's helping solidify who you are. On the flip side, there's also something called extrinsic motivation. And these are the reasons outside of us that usually don't tend to last as long, because they may tend to be for other people, for when we want to check the boxes or think something else will make us just enough, or all those other reasons that tend to be more from our shadows, so to speak. So really, in that becoming motivated, getting back on the wagon again, is being able to take that time, listen, and get quiet into that calming voice of your heart, that intrinsic motivation, because that's ultimately too going to guide you to that next step and that next feeling of, oh, you totally got this.
I love that. You reminded me of I saw Ariana Huffington speak on a panel a couple years ago, and she was saying, I think it was when her first book came out, and she was saying that for whatever reason, she had on her goals list was to learn another language, and I can't remember what language it was. And she said that when she was doing that exercise that you just shared, she realized she didn't want to learn that language anymore. She doesn't even know why it even entered into her mind. So often we are in such evolutionary kind of patterns that what we wanted in January may not be what we want right now. Perhaps, like you were saying, it might be that it was somebody else's goal that we thought, oh, or someone put it on us and like, oh, you should do this, or you'd be great at that. So we kind of absorbed that. At the end of the day, if it's not what we're feeling, what we're not aligned to, if we're not having that completely in our heart, it may not be the best choice. And that might be something to release today. Maybe there's something that you're, if you had on your to-do list to do with your goals, and you're like, you know what, listen to Dr. Serena. I'm like, that's it. I don't want it anymore. And that sets you up for success, because then you can add something that does fit right.
And knowing too that, like what you said, it can also help absolve any guilt.
Yes.
Of, let's say you just don't wind up finishing that goal, or you're seeing all these pieces of advice of what you should do, and you're just like, this is just flat out not going to serve me, whether it's at this moment or maybe later on. But yeah, it's coming back to where you feel is right, and then who you can bring into your energy to help guide you further.
I love that. I love it. All right. So starting to wrap up, final advice that you have, Alyssa?
I just want to say that your mind and your body are connected. So on those days where you're just not feeling it, go to your body instead. Your body, elevating your body, doing some jumping jacks, listening to music, going, as Carlee said, just changing the environment, going for a walk. You can elevate your emotional state by just hyping up your body. Your parasympathetic nervous system is tied to your mind, and it goes back and forth. Your mind can depress you, but your body can also elevate you. So just knowing that there are other methods if you feel like you're just stuck in that rut of unmotivation.
Yeah, I love that. And that's something everyone can do. Moving your arms, moving, just love that. Thank you, Alyssa.
Play your favorite song that gets you amped.
Exactly. You're Lizzo. Carlee, your final advice.
I would say on the subject of if we're overwhelmed, if we're stressed, it doesn't have to be anything crazy big. We don't have to do anything like that takes a whole day to get our energy right. It can be just 60 seconds. It can be just 2 minutes of connecting in with our body, rubbing two fingers together, right? Being really present, having a dance party, turn the camera off, perhaps go away from the windows if you're in an office setting, or do it, whatever, to each their own. But it can be just a quick little respite for yourself to get your energy aligned and back on track. It doesn't have to be anything crazy.
I love that. Love that. Again, everyone can do that. So starting today. Dr. Serena, your final tip.
Yeah. Do something you love, whether it's just rock out to a dance song, step outside for a few minutes. Yes, jump around, have a piece of chocolate, all of that. That also helps get some of your neurotransmitters up a bit, which help tell our brain, oh, you're doing good. There's a reward system there. But my really one biggest tip for both in kind of the immediate and the long term is to get a really good night's sleep. So many hormones, blood sugar, inflammation, and so forth get actually made and replaced and recycled and all of that while we sleep at night. So getting to bed, especially between that 10:30, 11, because 11 is when we get that second wind, you'll notice such a huge difference over even just a period of whether it's that night or a couple of days, and both your energy levels and then even your motivation.
I love it. And sleep, I just started prioritizing sleep a year ago. I got one of those Aura rings. It's at the shop now getting fixed. Yeah, and it has helped me realize like how important sleep is. When I sleep, all of my everything biometric stuff is all like shooting at like the optimum levels. People make fun of me now. I'm like, it's Saturday night, and I'm like, it's 9:30. I'm going to bed, and they're like, it's Saturday. I'm like, I can't. It's all lines. Like I want to make sure it's like always, and it has made a huge difference in my life. I've been parenting for 30 years. When they were babies, I didn't sleep. When they were adolescents, I didn't sleep. When they were in high school, I didn't sleep because they were out until whatever time. And now I'm like, I'm going to be an empty nester next year. And I'm so excited that I'm finally sleeping. The last year has been amazing. So I'm so glad that you added that because so many, I never knew sleeping helped. Never knew. Definitely helps. All right, Alyssa, where can femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
The best way to reach me is on Instagram. I'm Alyssa Williamson _coach. And that's Alyssa, ALYSSA. And then Williamson is SON _coach. And lots of free stuff there, lots of tips, and then you can connect with me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alyssa. Carlee, where can femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
All right. So you can visit stresslessco.com/links. You'll find everything you need there. So stresslessco.com/links.
Awesome. Perfect. And Dr. Serena.
Yes. Easiest way is right below on my website, drserenagoldstein.com. And that's where I have some free gifts for you, lots of articles and recipes, and of course, a chance to connect.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us today. This was so great. I feel amazing, and I'm going to revisit my goals today to see how I can do better. So appreciate your love, your guidance, and your wisdom, and sharing it with our community today. Mwah. Wishing you guys a great rest of the week. We'll see you back here next week.